Mom made me leave on my 18th birthday. Her new family came first, so I made a plan until her true self showed in the worst way in front of people. I am 26 years old now, but this began when I was 22. I lived in a big house in Hillside, a place where all people have money, but no one talks about it. It's the kind of area with nice mailboxes, where men cut their grass and wear polo shirts on Saturday mornings while drinking special beers. My grandpa was the best in our family. The old man built a big business from nothing in property sales in the 1980s and 1990s. He was smart with his money and ended up owning many of the office buildings in town. He did not show off, though. He drove the same car for 15 years and taught me about money since I was 10. I would sit in his room while he showed me stock charts and home values. Other kids played ball with their grandpas. I learned about money. And truthfully, I would not trade it for anything. "Always know where your money goes, Mark," he would say. "The moment you lose track is when someone else starts making choices with it." The man taught me about money before I could even drive. My mom and dad, that is where it gets hard. My mom, I will call her Brenda, cared too much about looking good. She would rather die than go to a party without the best food and nice hair. My dad, Charles, was not around much. He worked with money and cared more about golf than raising me. They broke up when I was 14, and Dad moved to Phoenix with his helper. Old story, right? The split was bad. Mom put his clothes on the grass. Dad changed the TV password. Not very grown up for people in their 40s. After the split, Mom began to date again fast. Here came Kevin, my stepdad. This man was the worst kind of fake. He wore nice watches but never had money. He talked about his money work but owed a lot of money. He would say he met famous people at places he could not get into. The man was like those people online who rent planes just for pictures. He came to live with us when I was 16, and from the start, he saw me as a rival. Not for Mom's time, yuck, but for things: room in the house, food, money. "Mark, you are in the good spot again." Or, "Mark, do you need to eat so much? Food costs money." Small, mean words like that. When Grandpa came to visit, Kevin would change into the best stepdad. "Mark is doing well in school. I help him with his math class." "Dude, you never went to school, so you can't help me with hard math." What no one knew, except Grandpa's lawyer, was that Grandpa made his will in a certain way before he died when I was 17. The house we lived in, he put it in a trust for me that would become mine when I finished school, if I got my degree. Until then, Mom just watched over it. Grandpa knew Mom was bad with money and wanted to make sure I would have something good when I grew up. Mom always liked fancy things, but after Dad left, it got worse. She would spend all her money on name-brand bags, but not send me money for school books. At the same time, Kevin was always looking for work. This means he had no job, but would not say it. He would sometimes get a sales job, talk about how good he was for a few months, then leave when it did not work out. I did not know about the house money yet. I just knew Grandpa told me once, "I made sure you will be okay, Mark. Just work hard to do well." So that is what I did. I worked very hard in school, got into Riverside University, and studied money. Mom and Kevin said they were happy for me, but it felt like they were waiting for something. When I got into Riverside, Kevin's first words were not "good job," but "that will cost a lot." Thanks for believing in me, man. Living at home during school was hard. They would say how nice they were to let me stay for free, even though Grandpa paid for the house years ago. They would ask when I planned to move out before I even finished my first year. They were mean in quiet ways. I spent most of my time at school, some for classes, but mostly to stay away from home. I made good friends, especially my friend Jason, who stayed with me through all of this. He saw that Mom and Kevin were not good people from the start. "Your stepdad is the kind of man who wears dark glasses inside and calls everyone boss," Jason said after meeting Kevin once. He was right. Skip ahead to my school finish day, May 2021. I just got my money degree with top marks. It took 4 years of hard work, working part-time at a store to pay for things Mom could not help with, even though she lived in a paid-off big house. Kevin's car costs for his rented car were more important than my school books, it seemed. The event was that morning, long, and not fun, but I felt good. Mom, Kevin, and to my surprise, Dad came. They were too nice all day, which should have told me something was wrong. Mom kept taking pictures with me in my cap and gown, putting them online with words like, "so proud of my smart son," all just to show off to her online friends. Dad gave me a $100 store gift card. "You can buy what you need for your new place," he said. already thinking I would not come home. Nice, Dad. Very clear. Let's eat at Milano's tonight, Mom said after the event. Milano's was a fancy Italian place that Mom and Kevin only went to for big days, usually when they wanted to make someone think they were important. The kind of place where they write the pasta names in Italian and do not show prices on the menus for women. We got to the place, and I thought maybe they were really proud of me this time. We got drinks. Dad made a weird toast about starting real life. Funny, from a man who had not paid me money in years. Then Mom gave me a fat envelope across the table. "A finished school gift, dear," she said with a smile that did not look real. Kevin was moving in his seat like a kid who put wrap on the toilet and waited for someone to use it. I opened it, thinking maybe money, but they never gave much, or a card. But I found a paper telling me to leave in 30 days. A formal note saying I had to go by end of June. Not even written by hand. A typed paper, like I was just someone renting they wanted out. "What is this?" I asked, feeling hit in the gut. Mom drank her wine like nothing. "Kevin and I want to make your room a gym. We start work next month." "But I plan to live here while I look for a job," I said, still not getting it. "We talked about this last month. I asked if I could stay after school while I found work and saved." Kevin laughed, really laughed, and said, "Mark, you are 22 now, done with school. Time to live on your own. We need our room." Dad, who was quiet, finally spoke. "You can stay at my place a few weeks. The bed in my workroom opens." This from the man who missed most of my birthdays and never sent money for me. The man who said he had no money for school but showed pictures of his trip with his new wife. But it got worse. Mom took out another envelope. "Also, sign these papers. Just some things about the house and Grandpa's stuff." "What things?" I asked, taking it but not opening. "Just fixing old words in the will," Kevin said, moving his hand like it was nothing. "Your grandpa left some house rules that don't work now. Normal stuff." Something felt wrong, very wrong. "I should read these first," I said. Mom's face got hard. "It's just hard words, Mark. Don't think too much. Our lawyer wrote it all right." "Their lawyer? Since when do they have a lawyer? Mom can barely pay for her store cards." "I will take them home and read," I said, firm. Kevin's smile went away. "We need these signed tonight. Our workman starts next week, and we need to fix the house papers first." "House papers? What?" I put the papers back. "I want to read them slow first." The rest of the meal was very hard. They kept trying to talk about the papers. I kept not talking. Kevin got more drunk and more mad, finally yelling at the man who brought the food about the cost. Dad looked at his watch every 5 minutes, like he wanted to be somewhere else. Mom kept looking at Kevin like, "Do something." When I got home that night, I opened the envelope and tried to read the hard words. It said things about giving away house rights and giving up claims to the stuff. It was written in hard words meant to fool people. That morning, I remembered Grandpa told me before he died, "When it's time, see the lawyer." So I did. I found the office in town. I called when they opened and got a meeting that day. The place looked like it handled old family money. I gave my name, and they did not need to look in the book. The lawyer saw me come in, nodded small, and said, "I thought you would come. Why are you here?" I took the papers from my bag. "My mom and stepdad want me to sign these, about Grandpa's stuff." The second he saw the papers, his face changed. He put on glasses and read, his face getting more mad with each page, really worried. "Where did you get these?" he asked fast. I told him about the finished school meal and the leave paper. He put the papers down and breathed deep. "Mark, I need to tell you something big. When your grandpa died, he left clear rules about the house. The house was put in a trust with your mom watching it, but with clear rules that it would become yours when you finished school." I sat there shocked. "The house is mine since yesterday?" "Yes," he said. "By law, you are the only owner of the house at 487 Oak Street. Your mom's job watching it ended when you finished school." My head spun. I remembered all the times Mom and Kevin talked about their house and their plans to fix it up. All the times they acted like I was using them. "And these papers?" I asked, pointing to the pile on his desk. "These," he said, "would make you give your house to your mom and Kevin. If you signed these, you would give a house worth a lot of money for nothing." He turned to the last page. "They did not even offer you anything." My mind went fast. "So they knew all this time?" He nodded yes, face hard. "Your mom knew all the trust rules when Grandpa died. She knew for 5 years the house would be yours when you finished school." That hit me hard. For 5 years, Mom knew the house would be mine. That's why they wanted me to sign the papers so fast at the meal. They thought I would be happy, not paying attention, and sign anything. And the leave paper is no good. He said they can't make the owner leave. He stopped. Mark, I don't say this easy, but what they tried is almost lying to get money. They tried to fool you into giving away your house. I felt sick. All those years of Kevin talking about their house, Mom saying when I would move out. They knew they lived in my house. How dare they? What do I do? I asked. He leaned in. First, sign nothing. Second, I say we make the right papers to show you own it. Also, maybe stay somewhere else for now while we fix this. They can't make you leave by law, but it might get bad. I nodded, feeling like the ground moved. One more thing, I said. They get married in 3 months. Big wedding meal at the house. He lifted his eyebrow. Good time. If they plan a big event there, showing you own it is key. And if they plan to borrow money on the house after marrying, he let me think what that meant. When I left his office, my phone got many texts from Mom asking where I was and saying they needed the paper signed now. Also, a missed call from Kevin. No message. Normal. I did not answer. I needed time to think and plan. For the next week, I stayed away from home as much as I could. When Mom or Kevin asked about the papers, I said I was still reading them. Just want to know what I sign, I said, which made Kevin look mad. It's just normal papers, Mark. Don't make it hard, he would say mean. At the same time, Mom was deep in wedding plans. Bride books all over, online pages full of flowers and table stuff, food tryouts filling the fridge. She always wanted a big wedding. Her first wedding with Dad was small because Grandpa would not pay for big things. Now she spent a lot. I met the lawyer a lot. He wrote down everything and made the papers to show I own the house. He told me to act like nothing was wrong for now. The more we know what they plan, the better we are, he said. So I started to watch. I saw Mom and Kevin already called workmen about fixing not just my room, but the whole east side of the house. They paid food people and rent people for their wedding meal. They made all these plans for my house without even asking me. What made me most mad was finding plans to change the whole kitchen starting the week after their wedding. They planned to tear out the kitchen Grandpa made special for Grandma before she died. The kitchen with counters that move up and down because she was very short. They were going to rip it all out for some new big thing with a coffee machine. I stayed at my friend Jason's place most nights, just taking clothes and things I need in my bag. Jason was fine with it. We were close since first school year, and his mom and dad always treated me like their other son. Man, they really tried to take your house, he said when I told him what happened. That is really mean. Yes, and the worst part, they knew for years it would be mine. All those times they said I lived for free, they were the ones living for free in my house. Jason shook his head. What will you do? Working on something with Grandpa's lawyer, but for now, I just watch and learn. The wedding plans got bigger. Mom sent me a nice invite in the mail. Brenda Smith and Kevin Jones ask you to come to their wedding. At the bottom was a note she wrote. Don't forget the signed papers. We need this done before the wedding. P.S. The wedding is at St. John's. Meal at the house. The house. Not my house or our house. Just the house. Like it was just a place. Through all this, I felt bad, especially after school ended, and I felt empty inside. I stopped looking for a job while I fixed this mess. The lawyer helped me get some money from another trust Grandpa made, one I did not know about. It turned out there was a separate trust for school and life costs that would all be mine when I turned 30. Not a lot of money, but enough to help. Your grandpa thought of everything, he said. He wanted you to be set before you got big things. The more I learned about Grandpa's plans, the more I knew he did not trust my mom with money. And now I knew why. 3 months was a long time to act like all was fine, but I can wait when I need to. In this time, I saw Kevin look in my mail 2 times. One time I came home early and found him in my room, looking in my desk. Just looking for a pen, he said, even though pens were right there on my desk. They started showing the house to friends like it was a TV show. And here we will put the nice food place, Kevin would say, pointing to the basement. The same place Grandpa made my game room for my 16th birthday. Mom kept saying how happy she was for me to start my life. What she meant was she wanted me out. One night I heard them talk in their room through the vent. "What if he does not sign?" Mom asked. "He will," Kevin said, sure. "Kids are easy to fool. And what will he do? Take his own mom to court?" If only they knew. When the wedding day got close, I gave Mom and Kevin what they wanted. Or they thought I did. "I will sign the papers at the wedding," I told them at dinner one night about 2 weeks before the big day. Like a new start, right? They looked at each other. Kevin seemed unsure, but Mom was just happy. "Good, we can do it right after the wedding before the meal," she said. "No," I said back. "Let's do it during the meal. More fun that way." Mom looked like she wanted to fight, but just nodded. "Okay, just don't forget." The next 2 weeks were busy with wedding plans. The house was cleaned, the yard fixed. Mom hired a fancy wedding person who kept coming with cloth pieces and flowers. They spent a lot of money, and why not? In their minds, they got a house worth a lot for just some paper cost. Brenda acted like she owned a castle, calling the house my place when she talked to sellers. Not our place, not the place, my place. Like she did not spend years using her store card to pretend she had money. She had the cleaning people work like soldiers. "The lights must shine, ma'am." And we live in a normal area. You have a fake fruit bowl from a cheap store on the table. Relax. She stopped me one morning when I got food, saying I had to cut the grass and fix the bushes before the wedding. "The yard shows the bride," she said. I just looked at her, did not know I worked for her. She gave me a fake smile and said, "Well, you still live here in my house." The same house she tried to make me sign away. The craziest part, she told the flower person with me right there, "This house means so much to me. My dad would want me to start my new life here." No, ma'am, your dad did not build this house so you could trick your way through your third marriage. He built it to keep me safe from people just like you. Then I knew it was not just feeling like she owned it. It was a show. Brenda was not just trying to take the house. She was making up a new story where she was the star. Like a sad story without the good parts. Full Brenda mode. Very clear. No shame. And they even asked me to help pay for the wedding. "Since you live here," Kevin said, like that made it okay, I pay for their wedding. "Sorry, no money now," I lied. "Looking for work, you know." At the same time, the lawyer and I finished our plan. The papers showing I own the house were ready. We had copies of the trust papers, the house change papers, everything real, stamped and signed. "Are you sure you want to do it this way?" he asked me the day before the wedding. "We could fix this more quiet." "They tried to fool me into giving away my house at my finished school meal," I said back. "They did not care about making me feel bad then. Why should I care now?" The night before the wedding, Mom came to my room. For a second, I thought maybe she felt bad, like a mom feeling. "Mark, dear, I want tomorrow to be perfect," she said, sitting on my bed. "It's a big day for all of us." "Sure, Mom," I said, waiting for the bad part. "So, I need you to be very good. No trouble, no fights with Kevin, and don't forget the papers." So much for Mom feeling. "Of course," I said, looking very good. "I would not make trouble." She smiled, touched my hand, and left. Not one word about this being the last night before I had to leave. Not one worry about where I would go or what I would do. Just a warning to be good at her big wedding. The wedding day came, September 15th. Nice fall day. I put on the suit I bought for the day, not too fancy, just a gray suit that fit good. I watched from my window as the rent people put tables in the backyard. As the food trucks came, as the drink men set up the free bar, all for a party I did not say okay to on my land, I went to the church and sat in the back. Watched Mom walk down the path in her nice dress, probably bought with money from my house. Watched Kevin stand there looking proud in his expensive suit. They said their words, gave rings, and kissed while people clapped. I left before they talked to people and texted the lawyer. Now. The party was going strong when I got there. About 150 people were walking on the land, eating fancy small food. Mom and Kevin were not there yet. They were still taking pictures at the church. The lawyer was waiting for me at the front gate with Officer Davis, who had the papers showing I own the house. We waited in the circle drive right where the wedding people would come. The first big car came about 20 minutes later. Mom and Kevin got out, all smiles and happy, until they saw us there. "Mark!" Mom's smile went away. "What's happening? Who are these people?" The lawyer stepped up, very businesslike. "Mrs. Smith, Mr. Jones, I work for the owner of this land." Kevin laughed. "What do you mean? This is our house." The officer gave them the papers from the town records in Grandpa's done will. "This land belongs only to Mark Smith, starting May 22nd, the day he finished school." Mom's face got white as she looked at the pages. Kevin took the papers from her, his eyes moving fast as he read. "This can't be true," he said. "It is true," the lawyer said calm. "Mark became the owner when he finished school, like Grandpa's will said. The papers you wanted him to sign would have given the house to you, not allowed." Now the wedding people came in the second big car. People got out, confused by what was happening in the drive. Mom's bride friends, all with fixed faces and tan skin, were whispering. Kevin's friends looked like they thought it was a joke. "Mark," Mom said mad, "we can talk later, our friends are here." "These people," I said, pointing to the crowd, "are having a party on private land without the owner saying okay." Kevin's face got red. "You little, after all we did for you." "Like what?" I said back. "Trying to make me leave my own house? Trying to fool me into giving away my house?" Mom tried to fix it fast. "Mark is confused, everyone. Just a small family fight. Let's all go to the back for drinks." The officer stepped up. "Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you have two choices. You can stop this party now, or you can go somewhere else. This party is not allowed by the landowner." Mom's sister, Aunt Lisa, pushed through. "Brenda, what's happening?" I stepped up and looked at the guests who were whispering and taking out phones. "So everyone knows, you are all at my house without me saying okay. These two tried to make me leave at my finished school meal. The house Grandpa left me. They tried to trick me out of it with fake papers. So if you are here for free drinks, I say call a car before the food gets cold." Some guests laughed. Brad, Kevin's best man, yes, his name was Brad, tried to make peace. "Hey man, it's their wedding day. Can't this wait?" "Funny," I said. "They did not want to wait to try to kick me out of my house or fool me into signing it over. Why should I wait?" Kevin tried one last time. "Listen, Mark, let's talk money," he said quiet. "Everyone has a price. What's yours?" I shook my head. "No." "You have 1 hour to get your things for tonight. The rest you can get next week." "Oh, where will we go?" Mom cried, her nice wedding face now messed up. "Dad said his bed opens," I said calm, using their words. What happened was all crazy. Guests went back to their cars slow. The food people put away their half-made food. Mom cried very loud while Kevin yelled on his phone trying to find a place for 150 people fast. I stood in the drive watching it all, feeling empty. This was not happy. It was right. The kind of right Grandpa would have liked. Fast, clear, and needed. Mom's cousin Anna, one of the few family I liked, came to me in the mess. "Is it true?" she asked quiet. "They tried to take your house?" I showed her the leave paper and the sign papers they wanted. She read them fast. Her eyes got big. "Oh, Brenda," she said. Then she hugged me. "Your grandpa would be proud you stood up for yourself." That meant a lot to me. They moved the meal to the Riverside Hotel big room, a last-minute book that cost them 3 times more. Most guests had left, I heard later. The ones who stayed got cold food, had to pay for drinks. The drinks were supposed to be free, and the most weird first dance ever. That night, I walked through the house, my house. I saw the wedding gifts in the front room, the half-done party stuff in the backyard. I gave all the wedding gifts to a place for people with no homes the next day. Maybe mean, but they came to my address, so they were mine. And truthfully, Mom and Kevin did not deserve the 6 mixers they probably got. Mom called me many times for weeks. I finally met her at a coffee place where she said sorry fake and then got mad. "We just wanted to make our future safe," she said, like that made it okay. "By ruining mine?" I asked. She had no answer. "You could have done it different," she said. "You didn't have to make us feel bad in front of people. And you didn't have to try to fool me into giving away my house," I said back. "You didn't have to give me a leave paper at my finished school meal." She even blamed Grandpa. "Dad always liked you more. He never trusted me with money." "I wonder why," I said, looking at her nice bag. Kevin never said sorry. He said he would take me to court for work they did on the house. My lawyer stopped that with papers showing all big fixes were paid by the trust Grandpa made for house care. The last text I got from him said, "You will be sorry, kid. What you do comes back." I changed the locks the day after the wedding and put in alarms the next week. Mom and Kevin tried to come by without telling me a few times, but the alarm people called me each time. Finally, they understood. Living alone in the big house was strange at first. More quiet than before, but also calm. No more mean, quiet words, no more hard feelings at meals. I could leave dishes in the sink if I wanted, but Grandpa taught me better. I sold the house 8 months later for a lot of money. The market was good, and I did not want to keep remembering what happened there. I bought a nice small place in town and put the rest away, like Grandpa taught me. I got a first job at Money Group, funny because it's in a building Grandpa used to own, and started my work life. It turns out having good school and no debt gives you choices. I am not rich, but I am okay and building something real, not pretending to be someone else. Mom and Kevin's marriage ended after 14 months. It turns out, when you build a life on wanting things and lying, it does not last. They fought all the time about money after the wedding, especially after Kevin's new work failed badly. Last I heard, Kevin moved to Florida after the split, and Mom lives in a small place, telling anyone who will listen about her bad son. Dad actually called me after he heard what happened. He said he was proud I stood up for myself. Too late, but I liked that he said it. We eat lunch maybe one time a year when he is here. It's strange, but not as bad as before. I am dating a nice girl named Mia now. I met her at a friend's new place party. She knows the whole story and thinks I did the right thing. Family does not try to fool family, she said simple when I told her all. She is close to her mom, dad, and brothers, which felt strange to me at first. It took me time to see that is how normal families work, with real love and help, not plans and tricks. Sometimes I think, what would have happened if I signed the papers at school? How easy it would have been to give up. I would probably live in a bad place with other people, owe a lot of money, while Mom and Kevin had parties in my house, fixed my house, maybe even sold my house without me knowing. But Grandpa did not raise me to give up, even after he died. The old man knew what he was doing when he set it all up. He knew Mom. He knew what was important to her, and he made sure I was safe. The house is gone, but I learned, family is not just blood, and sometimes the people who should love you most are the ones who hurt you deepest. But Grandpa taught me that real family isn't about blood, it's about who stands by you. He knew that better than anyone. That's why he made sure I was protected, even after he was gone. The house is sold now, but what he gave me stays. I learned to watch my money, to trust carefully, and to stand up when it matters. Most importantly, I learned that family isn't the people who share your name. It's the ones who share your values, like Jason, who never left my side, like Mia, who sees me for who I am, and like Grandpa, who looked out for me from the very start. Mom and Kevin, they showed me exactly what family shouldn't be. And in the end, that lesson might be the most valuable thing Grandpa ever gave me. I'm building my own life now, slow and steady, just like he taught me. No big shows, no pretending, just real work, real people, and a future I can actually call mine. That's the real inheritance.